and he's going to banish 3 to summon Protos.
But now we are back in it, game 2, and
There's the Shifter!
I can't believe it. Shifter is actually really good against Mitsurugi. Hanzi have the early upset, and he's starting off with Dimensional Fissure.
Talk about Shifter stopping monsters.
And now,
Target Dimensional Barrier to send back to the field.
Going effect deactivated.
One of them has an effect that returns another to the deck, and I think draws a card.
Effect target Dimensional Barrier.
All right, he's going to try and reset that Dimensional Barrier.
Here. Alrighty, here comes the random hammer. We're gonna go for that one.
I feel like this is the latest detonator ever, right? It's like he got the party invite wrong by an hour.
I mean, like, oh my goodness. And now, because of all the automatic...
It's brought the inner duelist alive, where Alex like, yeah, wow, okay.
And he's gonna follow it up with the Dimensional Fissure and the smile.
Effective Star Rise Eel, so now he has a way to disrupt Steven's field using the trap cards to destroy its effect again without it being a hard once per turn.
Protos, called Dark.
So yeah, so he chains the barrier.
No, don't do it. Oh,
another dimensional barrier.
Evil Sword Ouroboros.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to my boy Cyber Ouroboros, waiting in the wings with the first card he's going to.
A strong strategy in this third duel, and he'll use Ouroboros again to strip one more card out of Steven's hand.
Dark.
Yep, it's gonna be
he's
dark
doing
again.
dark again. I guess he's more concerned about the Mitsurugi.
One for Skeletus, or maybe just depends on what he's more afraid of breaking his board. And that's gotta be the Chris Run cards, right? And
Wow.
both.
Really?
Yeah, so he destroyed the artifact with his Sulfur. Theft here.
On the game.
Ghost Bell. But that's not the princess is going. He's gonna try and use the Ghost Bell here. Kamal just has doesn't want to see anymore. He's gonna concede, and Kamal Crooks Valdez is a six-time YCS champion.
Welcome everyone. This is RGB Fox, and as you can see, there is a huge compilation of, well, players utilizing floodgates and essentially setting up FTKs, right? Whether it be Fossil Dyna, whether it be Dimensional Barrier, whether it be Artifact Mjolnir. There's way too many currently in the game that causes for a lot of games to just end on the first turn. If you told me after Snake Eyes format that we were going to see more of this in the future, I wouldn't have stopped playing the game, but I definitely would have been a little bit more upset. And this comes as a shock, as, you know, during Jush format, we were not seeing a lot of these essentially FTKs being thrown around left and right. It felt very, and I mean very, very comfortable and very fun to play, very non-degenerate, right? But as time moved on here after Doom of Dimensions, we see that players are utilizing every strategy in the book to win as fast as possible. And it's not like they really have to, but let's be real, the faster that you can win a game, the easier it's going to be to move on to Top Cut and potentially secure a YCS win. And of course this applies to regionals, nationals, locals, etc. If you want to win, you have to stay ahead of the curve, and you have to kind of be a piece of shit, right, to be able to secure the dubs. And I'm not calling these players pieces of shit, by the way, for playing these cards, but I am saying that it feels really scummy, right? To be on the opposite end and knowing that you lost because you literally just could not play. And there is a lot, right? I mean, if we look in top 4, the top 4 deck list, we see, you know, Fossil Dyna, Shifter, D-Barrier in Tim's deck for, you know, his top 4 finalist appearance. In Kamal, we all know how accessible Artifact Mjolnir is, being able to set it up with Dagda and pop it with, like, I think a Solfefnir. Yeah, because you can destroy one card you control, so you just destroy the Mjolnir and then summon it to your opponent's turn. Field with the Quinn Query, and as they are locked. And for those that are confused how this works, if this card is special summon during your opponent's turn, target one artifact monster in your graveyard, special summon it in defense position. Also, you can add special summon monsters until the end of the next turn, except for artifact monsters. So, obviously, Kamal isn't summoning it on his side of the field. Also, otherwise, you know, he would be quote-unquote locked, assuming that this effect was applied during Cameron's turn. But no, since he's summoning it on his turn, which is Cameron's opponent's turn, to Cam's side of the field, this effect applies. And even though Cam doesn't have any artifact monsters in the graveyard for this to activate, this card still is a mandatory effect, so it will activate no matter what. And because of the also this clause here also, it means that this card resolves as much as possible, which locks the opponent, i.e. Cam in this case, into being only able to special summon artifact monsters during his turn, right? So, I mean, it's just unfortunate. Alongside you have D Barrier, Clockwork Knight, which isn't a FTK, but it is a Floodgate, which still sucks to play against as a Mitsurugi player. Funny enough, Cam's is the most fair out of all of them because his end board doesn't necessarily end with any floodgates. Well, I guess that's a lie, right? Herald is technically a floodgate. Any monster sent from hand or deck to the graveyard is banished. So I guess even there's a floodgate, right? But it doesn't essentially stop the opponent from playing, right? But, you know, cards like D Barriers definitely don't help. And Alex has probably the most unfair deck out of all of these from the top 4, because not only does he rip 2 from hand with the Ouroboros, but he also sets up Protos to stop your opponent from summoning a specific typing, I should say special summoning. And if that wasn't bad, you know, you also see that in his side deck he also has cards like D Barrier, Harpy's Featherstorm, which is the worst one out of all of them, I should say. And ways to protect his end board with cards like Unbreakable Xyz Barrier, that is easily searchable with Gaga Girl, Solemn Judgment, and of course plenty of hand traps and even Super Poly to back it up, right? So we're currently in an era of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where for the next 3 months, well, I guess a little bit less than that now, we are in a Floodgate format, right? It's being set up again, such as when we were playing during Snake Eyes, and not only were the opponents playing through, you know, a full Snake Eye board, but also under Summon Limit or Skill Drain or whatever the flavor of the week was back in the day, right? And surely Konami has to address this at some point. I mean, for God's sakes, why did they keep this card unbanned for another format? I can never understand it, but ultimately, yeah, it's rough out here, right? So hopefully they are able to get some good bans, hit these relevant Floodgate E cards, and prevent us from having to face them ever again, especially when they're easily accessible. I mean, you have the Banshee, which can search the Protos with the Flag Search. You got Thrust, which easily gets you into these trap cards right here. You have Cam, which can set up a Floodgate technically with the Herald. I say Cam, but Mitsurugi, yummy. We also have Kamal, which again, we saw how accessible this card is. With a single Link monster and a pop, you're in there. And then Tim, being able to not normal summon at all, because you don't need a normal summon to play this deck. And then finalizing his turn by using Phosphodyna, or perhaps even using Shifter during the opponent's turn whenever they go first and they're playing something like a Draco Tail list, right? It sucks, it really does, but that is the current era of the game that we are in, and hopefully Konami can address this soon so that we can have healthy Yu-Gi-Oh! Again, even if it's just an illusion. Thank you guys for watching. This has been my rant and my little compilation that I wanted to put out there, and if you guys have your thoughts about this, please talk about it in the comment section below. Let's have a discussion and see what can improve and what other potential floodgates can exist that can prevent your opponents from playing the game in the future, so that hopefully we can see them addressed as soon as possible. This has been RGB Fox. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.